What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Will Nicholls, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about should you split the rent? This is a big question that a lot of people are asking me, actually. I've been asked this a couple times. Should we split the rent, blah, 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 or girls saying we should definitely not split the rent, and guys saying we should definitely split the rent, and vice versa. So I just want to clear the air here. You should never, ever split the rent. And here's why. As a man, you're going to be living on your own, if you aren't already. Whether you're, again, this is all in the context of you're married or you're with a significant other that you're going to move in with, or you are moving in with, or you are living with right now. As a man, when you're living on your own, who's paying your rent? Is it your mommy? No. Is your mommy splitting the rent with you? No. Are you sharing a bed with another man and he's splitting the rent with you? No. So, and we think of roommates, and that's the example that people like to use. Well, roommates, we all split the rent. No. You each pay your share. Okay, you pay your share. It's not splitting the rent. You're renting the room. You're not renting the house. You're renting the room with access to the house. That's different. When you are living with a significant other, you are sharing the same bed, you're sharing the bathroom, you're sharing all of everything. Okay, so a lot of people say, well, we should share the rent too. Share the rent, share the rent, share the rent. No, you should not. When you're a man, you're paying for everything on your own, right? Because you shouldn't really be in a relationship if you're not financially sound. Definitely have made that mistake in the past before. And it's terrible if it makes you feel like shit, when you cannot afford to provide for your partner, or you are not in a place financially to be able to do so. It makes you feel like shit. And if it doesn't make you feel like shit, there's something severely wrong with you, okay? Like that's some mental illness going on there, all right? So I'm on my own. I'm paying my rent. No one else is paying my rent for me, right? It's my responsibility to pay the rent. Why? Because I live here, right? I provide for myself because I'm a man, and that's what I need to do. I'm strengthening myself every day. I'm working every day. I'm making money every day. These are all things I need. These are requirements, right? Just as a man, even as a single man. Okay. Nonetheless, if you're in a relationship or you're married or whatever, that's duh at that point. But as a single man, as a man in a relationship, or as a married man, it is your responsibility to take care of yourself financially, provide for yourself financially. And when you get into a relationship with a woman, it becomes your duty to begin to shift from just being the provider for yourself to then being the provider for another. Okay? Especially if you're wanting to marry this person. Because when I see married couples that split the rent, that is utter degeneracy. And then what happens is we start keeping tabs. Got tab open. The girl goes like this, right? Got your sheets of paper here. Like this, right? There we go. Get that organized there. Oh, yeah. She starts to go. So we split the rent here. Okay. Well, I actually paid more this month because you didn't pay enough. You didn't make enough money this month. You paid all the gas bill. So I paid more rent this month. And then what happens is, okay. You're gonna get okay. Yeah, I got the groceries this month. So are you gonna get the groceries next month? Just to keep it even. We gotta keep on the same page. Okay. Well, I spent a lot more on date night than you did. And I think next month, you should buy me something bigger. And we start to get into this dynamic where we're constantly arguing, and it's not always arguments, by the way. That's just what happens on the extreme end. In the extreme end, it becomes resentment and arguments and all that stuff. But on the minor scale, what happens is you start keeping tabs. As a man, you should be the provider. Okay? Because, ideally as a man, you should be the one that's making more money. Now, gender roles are so outdated, blah, 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 blah. Gender roles are not outdated. Now, there are circumstances where the woman is making a lot more money than the man. Do I still think you should split the rent? Can you guess what I have to say? No. Even if in that context, the only thing the man pays is the rent and the woman pays for everything else, if you're happy in that situation, I wouldn't be. And I know, that's just not the type of partner that I would want either. So that's a big no-no, okay? Never split the rent. Because you start keeping tabs, you build resentment. And as a man, you need to be the protector and the provider. If you're not the provider as a man, then you're replaceable. And yes, we're all replaceable. At the end of the day, that's just a fact. We are all replaceable. But when you are a strong, loving provider, and this is not manipulation. This is not manipulation. This is not power plays. Nothing to do with that. It's not gender roles and misogyny and all this BS. Okay? It is straight facts. Women like to be provided for. And men like to be providers at the core. When you move out all that conditioning and the traumas and the being taken advantage of and the blah, 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 being lied to and all the crap that we've gone through, when you take that all out, men at the highest capacity, when we're at our strongest, when we're feeling our best, it's when we're able to provide to the ones that we love the most. And when a woman is at her best, it is when she is so taken care of that she can just melt into her feminine essence, which is innately nurturing, and she takes care of the people around her in that regard. So the man provides and protects, and the woman nurtures and sustains, which means that, and this is where, when you get married, you have to have rules. That's just how it goes. You can't do it if you're walking around, you don't know who's. That's where also splitting the rent can become a dangerous game. All right, it can become a dangerous game because the rules are not clear. If you're a man and you want to be the provider, assuming that you're a masculine man, you want to be seen as a masculine man, you want to be the provider, and your partner wants to be provided for. And the last one, that's we're going to come back to that. But assuming those three things, right? You're a man, you're a masculine man, and you're wanting to be a provider, which means you're healthy. If you're not wanting those things, there's an imbalance going on. Okay? So if that's you, then you need to be paying for the whole rent. The whole thing. There's no excuses to this. Like if you want to move in with your partner, especially if you're married, like nonetheless significant other, significant other, your girlfriend, you're dating, whatever, it's not serious, you want to do that, then do that. I don't care. But it's detrimental in the long term because, one, you start to build resentment. And as a woman, when she's not being provided for, what's she going to do? She's going to look for other ways to be provided for. And unfortunately, nowadays, the other ways to be provided for is degeneracy. And for men, when we're not being the providers, and we're not able to, step into that role, and if you become the mooch, no bueno, you become the woman. So if you want to be the man in the relationship, if you want to wield the cock, then you better pay the whole rent, my friends. You better pay the whole rent. Because if you can't afford to live on your own, then you shouldn't move in with your partner. It's not like, we'll do it because it's cheaper if we just split. No. That's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. Never split the rent. Ever. Okay? Yes, as I said, there are exceptions to every rules. Okay? There's exceptions to every rules. Maybe she's a freaking doctor and you're a, factory worker, and that's just the situation right now. But as a man, you should feel pathetic in that situation. You should feel pathetic. You should feel like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I need to do better. Okay? I need to take control of my finances. This is bare minimum stuff, guys and girls. Okay? Bare minimum stuff. If you're not doing this, the relationship, the container of the relationship is not strong. The foundation of the relationship is not strong. So you got to do better, okay? And the way in which you start that is by really stepping into that role as a man, being the provider, feeling good and confident in that provider role. And if you're not there yet, getting there, doing everything you can to get there so that you can be that provider. Use that as your motivation. Get pissed off. That was one of the big things that changed my life personally, and to get more in control with myself and my finances and my situations, getting really pissed off that I couldn't be the provider, that I couldn't afford the things that I wanted to do, that I couldn't go out for the dates that I wanted to do, or I couldn't pay for these things, right? That got me freaking pissed, and then it got me so focused and driven that I worked my fucking ass off, to get to the place where I can pay my own rent, I can enjoy, my life, and I can provide. That should be the goal. If it's not the goal, there's something fundamentally wrong. Now, I said we're going to come back to that last part. You remember what that was? Does she want to be provided for? If you're a strong masculine man and your partner does not want to be provided for, you are not going to have sexual polarity. That's just the way that it is. Because a strong masculine man attracts a strong feminine woman. So a feminine woman wants to be provided for, enjoys being provided for, enjoys not having to worry about money, about finances, about all that stuff. That's a man. That's a man's world. Man says, hey, here's the credit card. And I'm not talking about sugar daddy, sugar baby situations here. As a man, no, your partner should want to, do something with her life. I don't want my wife to work. I don't want my wife to have to work. If I have kids, whenever I have kids, my wife is not going to work. She will do whatever she wants to do, but she's not going to work, because she's going to be taking care of the kids and making sure that they have the best childhood possible. Of course, I will be assisting in that, but my role will be to make sure that I can provide for my family and lead my family in that way. Okay? So we've grown up in this degenerate culture that has promoted and pumped this idea. I'm an independent woman. I don't need no man. Okay, I'm an independent woman, but they're not talking about being a businesswoman. They're not talking about being, going to school for 10 years and being a doctor. That's not the independent woman they're talking about. They're talking about being a stripper or a sex worker or a prostitute of some sorts, or being a sugar baby, It's like all of those things lack independence because you're dependent on men to provide for you, but not in a healthy, conscious way. You're doing it in a degenerate way. Okay, and this is what happens when women are not provided for, and when women block the idea that they should be provided for. Okay, now, as soon as you start dating someone, does that mean that you have to pay all her bills? And no. If she's wife material, and I mean legit wife material, you're having these conversations, you're gonna have kids, you're gonna get married. Okay, that's when you provide. Okay, you can paying for dates and all that stuff, that doesn't count. That's part of the game. That's part of the game to get you to that point. Okay, but you have to learn to be that provider as a man, and as a woman, you have to learn to receive. And if you haven't gotten that yet, and you're complaining, and a lot of times the reason that women say, I'm an independent woman, I don't need no man, is because they haven't had a real provider. They never had that experience. Okay? Because once you have that experience and you start to enjoy it and you start to realize, hey, I'm worthy of being provided for. Hey, as a woman, I enjoy just being completely in my feminine essence, not having to think about the structured, go hustle, go work hard and, earn my keep type of thing. I like being provided for. And I don't mind nurturing. I don't mind if we're living together, I don't mind cleaning. I don't mind taking care of the house. 1 to 2 hours a day taking care of the house. When people say, oh, that's misogynistic, blah, blah, blah. It's like, a man is paying for everything, and you can't, clean for 1 hour a day to make sure that the house doesn't look like a shithole, or cook a few meals a week, we have this backwards culture where we have entitlement on both sides. Men believe that they're entitled to splitting the rent, which is, no, you're not, because if you're on your own, you're paying for the whole rent, so pay for the whole fucking damn rent, okay? And women feel like they're entitled that, oh, well, it's one way or the other. It's like I don't want to let the man provide for me because I want to have the control. I don't want to release that control, right? It's a control thing for those hard-ass masculine women that have been calloused over through trauma and degeneracy and pain. It's suffering. It's sad to see. It really is. But then you have on the other side the mooches, the complete, sugar babies that will just be like a succubus, and make you pay for everything. And that's not good either. You want a woman that is saying, no, 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 you shouldn't have to. We don't have to go out tonight. We can buy something and cook it, and it'll be fine. You want a woman that's kind of like that. That doesn't mind, when you splurge on her every now and then, and enjoys that, of course, and receives you and enjoys you providing and keeping the lights on and taking care of her and the kids and all that. That's ideal. But she should not be a succubus either. There's a line here, okay? And that's up to you to decide, really, because some men, some women have higher expectations of what they are worth, and some of them are delusional, by the way. If you're not providing high quality, if you're not a high quality person and you're craving a high quality man, like you're in fairyland. You're in fairyland. High quality men go for high quality women. High quality providers go for high quality receivers. And not, I'm great at sucking out all the money. No, no, no. High quality in all areas. All right. And I'll do another video on the high quality man versus the high quality woman. That will definitely come out real soon. But never split the rent, my friends. Never split the rent, because it will just lead you down the path of degeneracy. You will lose your roles, and ultimately you will eventually lose your polarity within the relationship. And that's not good, because that's how relationships end. Have a great day. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button if you're new here, and comment below what you think of this after hearing this. And maybe you're a woman who's been splitting the rent with your man. Maybe you're going to have that conversation. Or maybe you're a man who's been splitting the rent with your woman, and you're realizing what I'm doing is not good. I better change my ways. Damn right, buddy. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. And I'll see you very, very soon for another video. Take care, my friends. And never split the rent. Ever. Okay? Never.